We'll now look at an example for using the actuarial method for unearned interest. The actuarial method for unearned interest helps us in the situation where we have borrowed money for a loan and we decide to pay that loan off early. If you decide to pay off a loan early, do you have to pay the total finance charge? The answer is no. By paying off the loan early, you are not obligated to pay the entire finance charge. You are not obligated to pay the unearned interest. We will now look at an example for calculating this unearned interest. Our example reads, Tino borrowed $9,800 to purchase a car. His monthly payments are $237 based on an APR of 7.5%. Instead of making the 30th payment of his 48 payment loan, he decides to pay his remaining balance and terminate the loan. Part A asks us to use the actuarial method to determine how much interest Tino will save by repaying the loan early. So let's begin by writing our formula down. Our formula is going to be solving for U, and we'll talk about what the symbols mean in just a second. The numerator of our formula says N times P times V, and the denominator has 100 plus V. So now let's consider what the letters stand for. The U stands for unearned interest. Typically, that is what we're solving for. The N is the number of remaining payments. And we want to note that this excludes the current payment. The P is the amount of the monthly payment. And the V is the value from an APR table. And we do have the table in our textbook. And that table can be found on page 593. So you may want to go ahead and turn in your textbook to that page so that you can be looking at the table as we work the problem. So let's begin with our formula and let's plug our values in. For N is the number of remaining payments. The loan had 48 payments. He has made 29 and he's about to make the 30th. Remember that the number of remaining payments excludes the current payment. So excluding the 30th payment, how many more payments does he have to make? And the answer to that is 18. So we're going to put an 18 in for the N. For the P, the monthly payment amount, we're going to use 237. And now we need our V. So we're going to turn to in our book to page 593. And look at how we use that table. We need to look down the left-hand side to 18. If you notice in your table, the left-hand column says number of payments, and it has some values underneath. So we're going to be on the 18 row. And across the top, we're going to use our APR of 7.5%. So if we intersect the 18 in the row with the 7.5 column, you'll see that the V value is 6.04. For the denominator, we'll have 100, which is a fixed value, plus the V value again, so plus 6.04. Now, when we calculate this, on the top, we're going to have 18 times 237 times 6.04. That's going to give me 25,766.64. And on the bottom, when we add these two values together, we're going to have 106.04. And when we divide, our final answer will be 242.99. We are rounding to 2 decimal places since this is money. So by paying off the loan early, Tino will save $242.99 in interest using the actuarial method. Now let's move to Part B. Part B asks us, what is the total amount due to pay off the loan early on the day that he makes his final payment? So we know that he has 18 payments remaining, excluding the 30th. So first of all, let's determine how much principal he has left to pay on the loan. In order to do that, I'm going to take 18 and I'm going to multiply by 237. He has 18 payments left, excluding the current one. Each of those payments is $237. So he owes $4,266 for principal. Now keep in mind that as he pays this off early, he's going to have a savings in his interest. So I'm going to subtract the $242.99. This is his savings in interest. Leaving us a balance of $4,023.01. This is the balance due, excluding that 30th monthly payment. Now the last thing I need to do is I need to add in the value of that 30th payment, which is one more 237. I'm going to add that on, bringing my total to 4,260.01. And this will be his total amount due to pay off the loan early on the day that he makes his final payment.